Hi everyone, thanks for clicking on this video. In this video, we are going to look into the factors affecting language learning strategies. While we are discussing this, I want you to keep in mind of the question, why you choose a particular learning strategy to assist in your learning. Are you ready? Let's go! These are what we are going to cover in this video. We'll begin with a brief introduction, followed by situational factors, individual factors, and the implications as well as the conclusion. This video is created based on an article reviewed. The article I have chosen is an article by Xiaoling Yang entitled Study on Factors Affecting Learning Strategies in Reading Comprehension, which was published in 2016 in the Journal of Language Teaching and Research, Volume 7, Number 3. If you wish to read the full article, you can click on the link in the description box below. So, based on the article, the author stated that in ESL learning, reading is one of the most important skills to master, but it is also very difficult. This is because reading is easy, but to comprehend a text accurately is not as easy as it seems. Due to that, language learners use strategies to aid their learning. There are two types of factors mentioned, which are the situational factors and the individual factors. The situational factors are the surrounding factors such as classroom setting, teaching methods, and tasks. Basically, the strategies a learner employs is also influenced by these factors. First, different settings will result in different learning strategies used. As stated by the author, in a classroom setting, learners are more prone to use metacognitive strategies, while in a natural setting, they use more social and affective strategies. This is because in a classroom setting, learners are a bit restricted to move around, and they have little opportunity to use the social and affective strategy. That is why they give more attention to metacognitive and cognitive strategy. Teaching methods will also affect the choice of language learning strategy used. We need to note that how a teacher teaches will influence learners' learning strategy. If there is more room for self-discovery learning, learners will employ the social strategy. However, if the class is dominated by the teacher's explanation throughout, then learners need to use the cognitive strategy to memorize and remember information conveyed. Finally, the choice of language learning strategy is influenced by the type and difficulty of tasks. In this article, it was mentioned that in reading tasks, learners use the metacognitive strategy because they need to comprehend and translate the text into their own understanding. Basically, they are thinking about their own thoughts. Sounds confusing? Well, it shouldn't be. If the task given is an oral task, what strategy do you think learners will use? In terms of difficulty of tasks, we can see that learners use different strategies towards comprehending a light reading and heavy reading. Let's put it this way. Do you focus and read line by line, trying to understand each word you read when you are reading a magazine as compared to when you are reading a monograph on philosophy? So, those are the examples of situational factors as mentioned. Now, we're going to look into the individual factors, which consist of motivation, age, learning style, personality, and other factors like aptitude, gender, and intelligence. First, in terms of motivation, it was stated that different types of motivation will result in different strategies used. For instance, if your motivation is to develop your communication skill, then you are more likely to use communication-oriented strategies. The strategies chosen are based on what you want to achieve at the end of the day. Next, the age factor is also a popular factor discussed in many articles. In this article, it was mentioned that younger learners use different strategies than older learners. Why do you think this happens? Well, younger learners are more focused on knowing the meaning of words. They have lesser vocabularies and limited knowledge in language structure. Due to that, they have to employ suitable strategy according to the level of proficiency. The same goes for older learners. Moving on to learning style. What learning style do you have? The author classified learning styles into two, which are the field-dependent and field-independent styles. Depending on which learning style a learner has, he or she will use different strategies. For instance, a field-dependent style learner tends to focus on the main idea. Hence, he or she might use more extensive reading style, where the main focus is on the main idea of the text rather than the words used. Next, let's look into personality. The author mentioned that extroverts might use cognitive language ability strategy to aid in their language learning. Apparently, the author mentioned that there is no direct relation between personality and learning strategies because each individual has his or her own preferences regardless of personality. Each individual is unique. As the author mentioned too, the test used to find a relationship between personality and learning strategy lack of validity. Finally, there are also other factors which influence the choice of language learning strategies. First, looking into the aptitude factor, it was stated that a high aptitude learner or learners who have high natural learning ability are better in using language learning strategies. Next, in terms of sex or gender, females use more strategies than males. However, it was also stated that males are more successful in using a particular strategy because males focus only on one strategy. In other articles, it was mentioned that females are afraid of failing. That's the reason why they tend to employ more strategies. Lastly, in terms of intelligence level, more intelligent learners employ language learning strategies better. Why? This is because they know what they want to learn and they have a solid background or knowledge about the language. Hence, they know which strategy will suit the particular learning best. So, we've come to the end of this video. Why do we need to know the factors of LLS? Well, if we know what influences a learner to employ a strategy, we will be able to provide a better lesson for learners as teachers. Teachers can also change their teaching strategies to suit the learners. As learners, knowing why you employ the strategy for learning will also help in determining the most effective one for a successful language learning. Hence, keep experimenting with the language learning strategies to see which suits you best. With that, thank you till we meet again. Thanks for watching.